This past archery season, I ran a bunch of tethered stuff to test it out. I tested the Skeletor climbing sticks. I tested out the Predator platform. And of course, right here in front of me, I tested out the Phantom Saddle from Tethrd. I tested it in early season, mid-season, late season. I am a person who wears their saddle in, so I wore this in walking through the woods, up high mountains, through tough brush and everything else. I learned lessons on how I liked configuring things. I learned lessons on how different things I didn't like about the saddle. And in this video, we're going to go through all of them. I'm going to let you know exactly what I thought. I'm going to show you some video of me actually using the saddle so you can see what I liked, what I didn't like, and make your own decision at the end of the video. So let's get into it. Hey, I'm Mike. This is the Everyday Bow Hunter. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, whichever side they're on, and make sure you come back for more videos. But today we're going to talk about the Tethrd Phantom Saddle. We'll start off, we'll talk a little bit about the specs on this thing. If you're not familiar with it, saddle is basically like a Swiss seat type safety harness setup. If you've ever done any climbing, if you've been in the military, you've tied on a Swiss seat, gone to air assault school, done your rappelling, hooked up to it. All this is a glorified, comfortable Swiss seat that allows you to sit in a tree for a long period of time, comfortably or not comfortably, and hunt from it. So here's a couple of the features of the saddle. Now, some of the specs that they have on the website are a little off. I don't know what the deal is, but when I measured this, the actual width of this here is about 11 inches as far as the actual width of the saddle. So if that's a consideration for you, you know that. The overall wraparound length of it, I don't know the exact as far as that goes, but this is their regular size. It's not the XL, it is the regular size one. I am 5'8", 185 pounds. I have a 34-inch waist. As far as this working around me, it worked very well. I did not have any issues with the actual waist size. I do have the buckle that you hook up here. You can see this is the buckle you hook up around your waist, and I'll show you here in a minute how it all hooks up. And you tighten it down with this strap, and you can actually move this strap around inside this channel that's in the saddle here. So take a look inside. You can see how it's set up. Because I do wear my saddle in, I don't like to pack it in. I wear it on me as I walk in because I never know where I'm going to stop and jump up in the tree as I'm scouting along. I did find that the saddle did slide down on me a lot, and I went and I used the Tethrd suspenders with it. I do find that they're very elastic and stretchy, and sometimes that was nice as far as comfort in the tree. Walking, sometimes I felt like it was dragging down when I had a little bit of extra weight in my side haulers here. It has what's called the UtiliBridge, and here they have things inside here that very knobbed out things in your bridge hookup here that are called comfort channels that allow you to lock into different positions on the strap so it's not sliding up and down. It's a pretty nice feature. I didn't find that I adjusted to different comfort channels a lot because it really didn't want to adjust on me depending on how the height of my bridge versus my body. So if you have it high, you have it lower, that really determined what comfort channel you're in. So as far as an overall feature, it really didn't do much for me, but it's okay. The leg straps, how they hook up, one of the things as far as being in the military and knowing a lot of thing about safety, I'm surprised that they went with the hookups that they did. When you hook up your leg straps, you slide these on, and it's all about downward pressure. As long as there's downward pressure, this is going to stay in place. But if you have any upward pressure, it might loosen up. Now, chances of it coming through and coming off the leg strap here is pretty slim, but it's still an open buckle design. It doesn't even have anything to click here over on it to keep it locked in, which kind of surprised me. So, but that's a small thing in the big scheme of things. Obviously, it passed whatever inspection it had for ANSI as far as safety. So that's how the leg straps hook up. Just like any saddle, you have your bridge straps here, which are separate from your lineman's rope hookup. It's really tightened around the sides here, so you can hook up your lineman's rope on the outside versus messing with where your bridge is at on the inside. Now your bridge is, as far as how your bridge length is determined, is managed by a Prusik knot here. And if you know anything about Prusik knots, you can see here, if a Prusik knot's on there tight, man, that thing's, as far as moving that, you really have to cinch things together to really get that Prusik knot to slide back and forth well for you. So just be cognizant of that. I usually have mine preset. We'll show you that here in a minute. And then, of course, the saddle itself has the hookups for your suspenders already on there, so you automatically use it. You don't have to use the MOLLE for for the suspenders if you use the tethered suspenders. But you have the MOLLE that goes around the top. You have a mesh backing here to allow air to blow through, make it more comfortable, let air to breathe when you walk in, which is a great thing. And then you have MOLLE down here at the bottom, once again, that you can hook anything up to. Now, as far as the actual rope carriers on this, as far as the carrying configuration that I personally used, I hooked on ammo or magazine dump pouches to this. I always have my lineman's rope hooked up, so I only have to take it out of the dump pouch here. I didn't use the cis haulers from Tethrd. I found these on Amazon for $10 and found that it was really easy to use, very easy to cinch in and secure my ropes, and then easy to get them out and then use as I'm in the tree with them wide open, just to pull stuff out that I'm using very easily without making a bunch of noise. So that is the basic setup of the Phantom. So let's get into actual using it, climbing the tree, what I liked, what I didn't like, and some considerations you might want to think about if you're using it. Okay, as far as putting this on, because I use the suspenders, I very often will put this around me like this and then work to step into my bridge like this. That makes it really easy. Obviously, if you don't have that, you're gonna just pull it up like you would a pair of pants. But you have the hookup, as I talked about here. Very secure setup. There's definitely no issues with how this hooks up. Put it in there. I have it preset. If I want it to be any tighter, I will cinch down on a little bit so it's tighter around the waist. The one thing about the bridge here is that I found that the best thing for me was to kind of tuck it into my pants, tuck it away, since I'm walking into the woods with it, and even going up the tree, I would tuck it into my pants to get out of the way. For this, I'm just going to let it out here so you can see it. It's also interfering with my microphone wire, so I don't like that. But anyway, you can see here how my magazine pouches ride on the side. I can tighten this up any way I want to get things out of the way. You can see there, I tighten things down. I have that. You can see here how the bridge straps hook out, how the lineman's rope hookups stick out. When you are hooking up your legs, remember, this always goes to the outside. You want to hook this up to the outside here. That way it's on like that. You cinch that down and tight, and then fold it into the keepers here. And obviously do the same thing with the other side. Now, because I'm walking in, a lot of times I'll keep these kind of loose so they're not tight against my legs. So when I get to the tree, I will cinch them down a little bit to make it a little bit more secure. But overall, then I might tighten this up as well. Then I'm set to go. I'm ready to walk into my stand. Obviously, like I said, I'll take this, I'll tie this up, and I tuck it into my pants. I get it out of the way. I have seen some other saddles out there that actually use a carabiner to hook the bridge on, and then you can tuck it away in your pouches and get it out of the way. I really like that. That's the one thing about your bridge when you're walking in, and even the loops here for your lineman's rope as you're walking in. You be cognizant of the fact that these can get hooked up on branches and jaggers and everything else as you're going through. So be cognizant of that. But as far as the saddle goes, then you can see here the suspenders have that real elastic setup. But as far as how it's on my body, you can see it's not moving, so it's on me really secure. It's not really noisy. Even with my my pouches here, unless I'm bouncing them up and down, which I really could tie them down and make them a little tighter to me so they're not bouncing around and making any noise. But other than that, it's set up good, and you can see from the back how that fits on me. I'm sometimes pulling up, sometimes pulling down to get more comfortable as I'm sitting in the tree. So it's a little bit, for me, this is a little bit small as far as size goes. So I'm kind of, I guess, in that in-between size. I like having a little bit more down on my legs in the tree, yet having it up above my waistline as well. So I feel that in some cases it's a little, even at that 11-inch width mark, it's a little small. Let's talk about the Phantom overall. First off, right now, if you go and buy this on Tethrd site, it's about $275 for the regular size that I have on me now. If you get the extra large, it's probably a little bit more. So as far as pricing, it's a pretty big pill to swallow. You're just talking about your saddle. You're not talking about your tether here. As you can see, this is the 11 millimeter tether. I have the 11 millimeter tether that I got, and lineman's rope. So that's the setup that I use. As far as the ropes go, the carabiners and everything they provide are extremely secure. In fact, if you look at the tether setup here, the carabiners that they're using, extremely secure. Now I use a Ropeman 1 instead of using a Prusik knot with my setup, and that works a lot better than the Prusik. As I said in the video, I keep the Prusik on just as a backup in case something goes wrong with the Ropeman setup. But the carabiner is really strong. The safety mechanism on it's very strong. I don't have any issues. This does not come with the saddle. So when you're buying the saddle, remember that you're buying your tether and you're buying your lineman's rope separately from your saddles. They do have package deals, and if you're buying everything for the first time, I recommend getting one of the package deals versus going for each piece separately. Did I get any hip pinch from this? No, I did not get any hip pinch from this the whole time I used it. I think the longest I was in the saddle at one time was maybe 5 hours, so I didn't have any issues with that at all. I never got to the point where the saddle was hurting me. Would I buy this saddle again? Knowing what I know now, for the price points that are out there on other saddles that I have tried out, I probably go a different route, and you're going to see me this fall testing out some new stuff. Overall, it's a good product. It's definitely a safe product. I have no issues with safety, have no issues with wearing it into the woods except for how it was falling down, and I did need. The Phantom worked well for me this season, but it didn't wow me, didn't make me say this is the best thing I've ever used, and I'm looking at different options for next season. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you liked it. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.